Manitobans are entitled to be safe in their homes, in their communities, on their streets. And both home invasions and carjackings, in my view, are serious breaches of people's right to be safe. There are not a lot of carjackings, but we know it does exist. In terms of home invasions, we know that happens as well. Terrifying crime for people who are victims. We want to make sure, first of all, that the severity of that offense is reflected in the sentences people get. We also want to make sure that victims get the services as quickly as possible. Our victim services in Manitoba are pushed ahead by the charge that's laid. Because there is no charge of home invasion, sometimes there can be a delay in getting the right services out to victims of this very, very serious crime.
Have you got any initial reaction from the federal government on some of these? You haven't, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've addressed some of these things with them?
No, I had a really good chance to meet with Minister Nicholson in spring of last year. Mm-hmm. It was when things were getting very, very interesting in Ottawa. Mm-hmm. And we put to him the question of knife crimes. We mm-hmm. put to him the question of standalone offenses for home invasions and carjackings. And I believe Minister Nicholson was interested, but had a lot on his plate at that time.
Right. So the government might be receptive. Do you feel that they are receptive to that then, and the body armor and fortified buildings provisions?
I believe there'll be a lot of interest. What generally happens is that if there's policy work that needs to be done, the federal government and the provinces and territories may agree to refer a question to mm-hmm. get some more development done, so we can then recommend exactly what the law should look like. The federal government can simply move ahead on its own. Manitoba has been really successful over the past decade of really punching above our weight, if you will, at moving ahead changes to the criminal code. Some of the things would be creating a standalone offense for car theft. Mm-hmm. That didn't exist until very recently. We've also done things like we've successfully called for the federal government to double the penalties for criminal harassment for stalking cases, because we know it's a matter of safety for women in Manitoba. We've also been very successful at driving the agenda on taking on gun crimes. And now we see knife crimes as being also very serious.